What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Jerome Majette. Welcome to Understanding the Reason. Man, I'm excited that you guys are here. We got some good information we're going to go over today. But before we get started, please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you put your comments down below. And so with that, we're going to get going, all right? Listen, so we've been talking about the law of reciprocity. In this video, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to get into some more information, and I hope that you guys are with me on this journey. We're looking to figure out, why are we here? There's three questions I believe that most, anybody who's on this planet wants to know, right? The first is, why am I here? The second is, what is my purpose? And then the third is, what happens next? So we're in pursuit of understanding, why did God, who is a spirit, who is an eternal being, create physical temporary matter? And more importantly, why did he create us, right? So last time that we were talking about the law of reciprocity, we were trying to clarify that thing up a little bit for us, right? So the law of reciprocity governs everything, period. Everything that we do. In fact, we operate under that law, and a lot of times we don't know we're doing it, right? So I liken it to something very, very simple. So if you have a left hand, you have what? A right. If you have front, you have back, right? If you have up, you have down. If you have in, you have out. If you have light, you have dark. And this is an exact, absolute law. You can go anywhere in the universe, and it's going to be the same thing. Okay, there's no way that you, like, somebody asked me this one time. They said, well, what if you were on a planet that didn't have a gravitational pull and you jumped and you just kept going? I said, well, eventually you're going to have to stop, right? Something's going to run into you, or you're going to run into it, but you're going to stop. Or if you're going this way and then you somehow get turned around, what's happening? You're going in the opposite direction. So the law of reciprocity really deals with opposites. That's what it deals with. So the other big thing that it deals with is something called the seed principle. Everything comes into existence through seed. Everything. There's nothing that comes into existence without seed, right? And if you throw in the premise, the big premise of the law of reciprocity, nothing happens on its own. There has to be a reason for it. There has to be a cause behind it, right? So that's where we're going to pick up at. So we can agree that nothing can end without beginning first. Everything in the material universe had to come from something. Creationists hold the view that all things owe their origin to the supreme creator, who is himself uncreated. Now, to our mind, that doesn't sound, that's like, wait a minute. We just said everything has to have a beginning, right? Well, in time it does. So in this universe, the universe itself had to be created, and then this material world has to have, if it's got a beginning, then it has to have what? An end. So the universe is a temporary construct from eternity. So let's say it's a span of eternity that's been carved out for a specific reason, a specific purpose. And so that carve out is beginning and ending, right? But eternity, in order for it to be eternity, would have to have no ending or no beginning. It's a mystery, but that's what we're talking about. So in understanding why we are here, these are things that we have to look at. Why did God, who is eternal? So somebody asked me, well, who created God? Nobody. In order for him to be an eternal being, even though this goes contrary to what we believe or what we understand, because the truth of the matter is, none of us have been in eternity, and none of us know anyone who actually from day one to now has been on this planet. Right? We have a beginning, which is our birth date, and then we have an expiration date, which is our death date, right? So we know that these things have to be true. That the law of reciprocity has to be true based on the fact that we see everything end. We see everything begin, right? But on the eternal front, we never been there. So to our material minds, it's kind of difficult for the carnal mind to understand something not having a beginning and something not having an ending. Okay? And so we're reading in my book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. Pick up a copy and follow along with me. But let's keep reading. So this is fascinating to think about, the fact that God, who is the creator, has no creator, no beginning, and no end. To the human mind, this concept is beyond comprehension. However, many past and present arguments seek to establish God's eternality to help us kind of understand this mystery, right? Who created God? How did God come into existence? Well, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of our carnal understanding, we have to say that's impossible, right? If we're looking at it that way. But there's a couple of arguments that actually help to kind of define our understanding of the eternality of the Creator. The first one that I want to talk about is called the Kalam cosmological argument. The Kalam cosmological argument, or what they call the first cause argument, is a philosophical argument for the existence of God that explains that everything has a cause. There must have been a first cause, and this first cause was itself uncaused. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. The Kalam cosmological argument is one of the variants of the argument, which has been especially useful in defining and defending the philosophical position of theistic or theistic worldviews, right? Theistic worldviews, meaning God worldviews, right? That there is a God, that there is a God, and he's real, right? And he created the universe with laws, precepts, and principles. These laws, precepts, and principles speak to the intelligence behind the actual thing that's been created, if that makes sense. So in other words, if it wasn't for gravity, all of us would probably fling off the earth. The earth is spinning at 24,000 miles an hour. So what's keeping us here? Well, one of the things that's keeping us here is the law of gravity. And the law of gravity really speaks to the pull or the adhesion to mass that's close to the surface of the earth. So the closer you are to the surface of the earth, the stronger that gravitational pull is in effect, right? But it's governed by a law, right? It's that law governs the fact that gravity has an effect on mass, on matter. Okay. And that's important for us to understand. When we talk about why are we here, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be somebody behind this thing that's intelligent. Let's go back and revisit something that we talked about before in our last video. So there's a gentleman by the name of Max Planck, who is a Nobel Prize laureate. He is the theoretical physicist who first developed quantum theory and is known as the father of physics. Here's what this brother said. This is what this gentleman said. All matter originates and exists only by a force which brings the particle of atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. This mind intellectually put all these different systems together, all these laws together, and he's the one responsible for life. So we're going to talk more about that, man. I'm excited that you guys are here. Please pick up the book, Understanding the Reason God Made Man, What Made Him Do It. The link is in the description. Put your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. And if you do decide to pick up our merchandise, this is our merchandise order book. Send me a selfie over on Facebook Messenger, and we're going to post you on our video. Please stick until the end and see who we posted as just as a way to say thank you for the supporters of the channel. Okay, we love you guys sincerely. God bless you. Have a good one. Peace.